Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Heavily Contested Hoops podcast. My name is Peyton Mitchell, and today we're going to be talking about the NBA playoffs, some transfer portal stuff, and who I think my favorite team to watch in the WNBA is this year. I'm going to start off by saying go ahead and follow my TikTok at HCH_pod, where I post short form content talking about all things hoops daily. So let's go ahead and get started with our first topic. Like I said, the NBA playoffs. Now, we've seen teams play one game, teams play two games in this. We're gonna go ahead and start by just saying I think my prediction of the Thunder are gonna sweep whoever they played. I didn't say who they were playing. Now that we know they are playing the Suns, this is not gonna be pretty at all. I don't think the Suns will even get one in this series. The Thunder just look like the Thunder have all year and are just completely 100% the better team. They do exactly what they do. They play great defense. All right, let's be honest though. Do they play great defense or do they get away with fouls that other teams do not? There's a little line right there that who knows exactly how it is, but the Thunder is definitely the NBA's baby right now, and they are being cradled. They're easily going to sweep the Suns in this one. There's no way. SGA is an absolute bucket. He doesn't miss. It's a hot take that I say he's not a fun player to watch in person or on TV. Like other players like Steph Curry are fun to watch. Anthony Edwards are fun to watch. Shea is just an amazing player, but there's nothing that steps out about his game where he is 100% the best player that I would want to watch. Like I'm gonna be like, oh, I want to go watch Shea. Shea's a guy I want to go watch. No, I mean Shea's he just plays the game and does it the right way, and there's nothing super flashy about his game. I mean, he's got the little push off every time, but hey, it's what it is. They don't call it. He plays to how it is. So, but there's nothing about it that's really special about he does. He just knocks down shots and doesn't miss in that case. So yeah, the Thunder are easily going to win this one in four. It's not even going to be close. Then going to a game that we have today, it's the nightcap. We got the Lakers and the Rockets. This is should not be a first round. This should not be a first round matchup. It sucks that Luka's out and Austin Reeves are out for the Lakers. I think 100% the Lakers would win this series if both of them were healthy, but not having Luka and maybe Kate. I think KD's back tonight. He should be back. I think the Rockets are going to end up handling this one. Let's just continue and go ahead and say if the Rockets win, I think the Lakers are going to at least get two. I think the Lakers will get two in this one, and we'll say the Rockets will win in six. But I mean, they shot what was it, 64% from the field in the first one. Um, they shot really well in the first game. Let's go ahead and look at it to tell you because Um, the Lakers played the best game they possibly could have without that. Yeah, they shot 61% from the field and 53% from three. And only won by nine. So they're not going to do that every night. So that's where I'm like this is still the Rockets series to lose or to the Rockets series to lose, especially now with if KD is going to come back in this one like he should tonight. The Rockets are definitely the better team in this situation without the Lakers having Luka and Austin Reeves, their top two scorers this year. LeBron's just it's not LeBron of the East, it's LeBron in the West, and he's 41 41 years old. I don't exactly know off the top of my head, but he's not gonna get the job done like he did in Cleveland when he carried the Cavs to the finals in 2018. It's just not the same LeBron. This Rockets team is a lot better than any of those teams that they face in the East, in my opinion. So I think the Rockets are going to end up handling this one, Pia, unless the Lakers continue to just play the absolute perfect series that they have to play to win this one. And then the game of the night last night was just Nuggets Timberwolves. This is 100% going to be the best series. I think it's going to go seven. I want it to go seven because it's an absolute shame that this is a first round matchup. The Timberwolves coasted through the year. I mean, Ant was hurt. Ant's still honestly hurt. This was his second game back from injury, so he's definitely tired in these ones. But the Timberwolves played amazing defense on Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic down the stretch. I mean, they had Jokic absolutely confuzzled all night in the fourth quarter. I mean, they only shot, I think it was 2 for 12. The Nuggets were, or Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic were 2 for 12 in the fourth quarter and ended up losing this game. That's exactly why, because the Timberwolves absolutely shut them down. Nikola Jokic was short on almost every three he shot or he airballed. So he hit the front of the rim or it was an airball. He was absolutely short on every single three that he took. Nothing, they all seemed forced because Rudy Gobert was absolutely playing amazing defense. Jokic still got his numbers early, but down the stretch, you saw that it was wearing on Jokic because of the great defense that Rudy Gobert was playing. He was making him work for everything. So this is the series that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be the series to watch going forward. And just like I said from the beginning, this is gonna be the best series of the first round, and it's an absolute shame that this is a first round matchup. Um, the Spurs, I mean, we don't really have to highlight much here. Wemby just won Defensive Player of the Year. He's a finalist for the MVP. The Spurs are honestly the team that I think can challenge the Thunder in the West. So I think this will be another sweep. The Blazers could get one at home. You never know. Danny Avdia's playing amazing basketball. Can't believe the Wizards traded just gave him up like that. That's insane. But he's really coming out in Portland right now. So I still think it's going to be a sweep. The Trailblazers could get one, but I think the Spurs 100% going to easily sweep this one and move on to play. Honestly, a tough Nuggets or Timberwolves team that you can't overlook in that matchup. That's going to be a good one no matter what. But the fact that the Lakers or the Rockets are going to be in the second round, that's just not what we want to see in this one. I wish it would be Nuggets, Thunder, Nuggets, Timberwolves. That would be what we'd want to see. But then moving in the Eastern Conference, how did the Magic pick up one? That's actually crazy. I don't understand how that happened. But hey, the Magic are coming to play. The Pistons are very tough. Who knows what's going to happen in this one? Orlando, the series doesn't start until until the road team gets one. So honestly, they already got one right there. The Magic honestly had a rough year. I don't understand why they were that bad. They absolutely just killed my Hornets. That was not fun to watch. But the Magic, they could make this a series, to be honest. I didn't think it would happen, but if the Magic play as physical as they have the last two games, there's no reason the Pistons don't need. There's no reason the Pistons should not worry because the Magic look like they have a chance to make this a series, even though I would guess that it's not going to. I still have the Pistons moving on, but hey, anything could happen. Moving to the next one, the 4 versus 5, the Cavs, they're going to sweep the Raptors. I thought this was going to be a good series in the East. No, that's nope. We're going to go ahead and skip over that. The Cavs, the Raptors are just a fraudulent 5 seed because I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you what the Raptors. Yeah, I don't see the Raptors picking up one at all in any of this series. Um, then we'll move the game of the night last night, Knicks Hawks. Knicks fans are trying to make a beef out of this series for absolutely zero reason. You got the 3 seed Knicks, 6 seed Hawks, and we're tied 1-1. The Knicks have done it again. Mike Brown might not be a great coach. Um, that's what I've heard a lot. I haven't really analyzed it that much. This is just going off of what I think is going to end up happening. But the Hawks are favored by 1.5 in game three in Atlanta in the A. So anything could happen. CJ McCollum went crazy last night. It went from F Trey Young to FU CJ. CJ's not even trying to be the villain. He doesn't care. He was to embracing the hatred from the Knicks fans. Knicks fans are just trying to make a rivalry out of this. Like the Hawks are living rent free in the Knicks. I thought I'd never be saying that in the Big 2-6, but hey, we're gonna have a series now. It looks like in this one, unless the Knicks don't take their foot off the gas, they need to just leave their foot on the gas for the whole thing of this one. We saw that last night where the Knicks just try to coast and mess around in the first round in the past few years. But other than that, I still think the Knicks are the better team in this series and are going to end up pulling it out. But the Hawks are not going to make this easy on them. This is going to be another fun series to watch. And then the game we got coming up soon at the time of this recording, we got Celtics Sixers. The first one in this one was an absolute blowout. I think the rest of the series is going to be exactly like that. So, hey, we don't even have to worry about that. We're not even going to talk about it. The Celtics are 100% the better team. Um, the Celtics could have been even better if it wasn't for the second apron and they had to get rid of Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, and that, etc. And they ended up trading for Vucevic early or at the trade deadline. So this could be a completely different team, but this Celtics team is still absolutely scary. Um, Now I'm gonna go ahead and highlight my winners and losers of the portal. We're gonna start with the losers. My loser is gonna change. I'm gonna only highlight two losers now for the transfer portal because at this point Duke was a loser, but they just picked up John Blackwell, so they're no longer a loser in my opinion. Um, but my first biggest loser of the transfer portal so far is LSU. Will Wade has left NC State and done nothing in the portal. He's got one player on his roster currently for next year. Um, this could be bad for him. I don't see it. He's got to 100% get going in the portal for him to do this. But we can talk about the one player that he did pick up, and that was Muhammad Diabate, which is gonna feed into the next loser that I have in this one. But Diabate averaged 8.8 points at his previous school. I'm not gonna give it away. If you know, you know. And then 5 rebounds last shooting while shooting 54% of the field. He was a top four scorer on his team last year. If you know where this is going, you know where I'm going to say because I don't want to give away the team of my next loser. But Muhammad Diabate was a top four scorer at his place at his school last year. So the fact that that's the only pickup Will Wade picked up, that is a good pickup, but that's all he has. A pickup that I think we will see coming in the future is going to be Paul McNeil Jr. He's the 32nd ranked recruit according to 247 Sports. And from the beginning, since Will Wade left NC State to go to LSU, I figured that Paul McNeil would end up following him. So that's going to be a great pickup. He averaged 18 points a game and saw an absolute increase in every single stat category that he had in year two with the Wolfpack. Like I said, this is going to be a pickup for Wade. I see it 100% happening. But now we're going to talk about my other loser. If you understood where I was going, if you knew Muhammad Diabate, that school is Kentucky. The Wildcats have now missed out on Donnie Freeman, Rob Wright III, and Magoon Guath. Not to mention, like I said, they've lost 7 players in the portal, and 3 of them were top scorers. They lost Tyson Chandler, they lost Muhammad Diabate, and who was the other? I don't remember the third one they lost. But then the other one, their senior that they lost was Otega Owe, who I absolutely love. But yeah, 4 of their top scorers are gone, 3 of them being in the portal, and one of them going to another SEC school, and they've missed out on multiple top recruits that they were wanting. But the good thing for them is they had 2 very, very good pickups. I don't think this was their first pickups. I think the fact that these other guys did not commit there, that's why those are their second options. That's why I have them as a loser in the portal. But the first one that they picked, or one of the first ones, one of the ones that they picked up was Alex Wilkins. This guy is very special. He's a smooth scorer. He lets the game come to him. This is a fun guy to watch. We saw him have 21 against UConn in the first round of the NCAA tournament. And honestly, I thought he was going to go to UConn. It surprised me. I think the fact that Nicholas Kamina went to UConn kind of changed things up. What UConn had there, Wilkins wants to play. He sees there's a fit for him in Kentucky. That's probably why he ended up going there. But he averaged 17.8 points last year at Kentucky with 4.7 assists. And this guy is really fun to watch. Watching him at Furman last year, you knew he was going to be at a high major program the following year. So that is still a good pickup for Kentucky. They're just a loser because I don't think it was the pickup that they 100% wanted from the beginning. Um, the other pickup is Zoom Diallo from Washington. He averaged 15, 4, and 4 last year. This was a great pick. This is a huge pickup that, honestly, I think, like I said from the beginning, it's not the fact that these are bad pickups. I think it's not exactly what they wanted from the beginning. But Zoom Diallo could be a key piece in helping the Wildcats get the top freshman in the country, Tyran Stokes, to end up committing there in the next, I think it's a week or so from when he said he wanted to announce his commitment. But in that case, that's how. That's why I think this Zoom Diallo pickup is really, really big for the Wildcats because if they get Tyran Stokes to commit because they played in high school together, that is going to be a amazing duo to have. But then they have Zoom Diallo Tyran Stokes and Alex Wilkins. This is honestly still a younger, unexperienced roster when it comes to March, but this is still a good roster. Right now, Stokes is crystal ball to Kansas. We could see that this one could be changed. Kentucky is 100% still in the running for Stokes to get a commitment, but I think Zoom Diallo only helps it. But because they missed out on other transfers, that's why I have them as a loser. And then my third loser was Duke. It was shaping up to be the exact same story that we have seen for the past 10 years. Have an amazing team, but lose in March due to the lack of experience. We saw it against UConn. We saw it in the Final Four against Houston last year. Freshmen do not win in March. I thought this narrative was going to change because they were targeting Flory Badunga, and I thought he was going to commit there. And then it was a surprise to me when I saw that Badunga ended up committing to Louisville. So then I was like, oh, shoot, Duke is back to where it is. But the good thing for them, Patrick Ngungba committed, said he's coming back to Duke for another year. And then just a couple of like an hour ago from me recording this right now, it was announced that John Blackwell has committed to Duke. This is a great pickup for them. He averaged 19 and 5 last year at Wisconsin, and this is exactly where I was like, Ngungba coming back, this is going to make this change, especially if Blackwell comes back, because now they have that experience that I didn't think they had. They're going to have a younger roster with Deron Rippey Jr. and their other recruits. So they're three top 10 recruits in the freshman class. So in that case, that is why I thought this was going to be a loser, but then Blackwell commits and Gungba's coming back. They're building pieces that are coming back. So I think now they're going to be better than what I thought they were in this portal. But now that Blackwell comes, they are no longer a loser, in my opinion, of this portal. But now let's go ahead and talk about some winners in this portal. Obviously, the first one that I can't not mention in this is the Louisville Cardinals. So obviously, they're my first winner. They just picked up Carter Knox from Arkansas, Badunga from Kansas, and Jackson Shellstad, who didn't play much last year, but was a very good player. That's two. They picked up the best player in Flory Badunga, and then two other top 25 recruits in the portal. So in that case, they are my first winner. I expect them to honestly rival Duke next year for the chance at the ACC championship easily. Badunga is what they were missing last year, and honestly, a point guard that's going to play because we saw Michael Brown Jr. not play for them due to injuries, and I think it was just because he did not want to hurt his NBA draft stock. But I don't understand how playing hurts your draft stock. If I don't really know, maybe he was hurt, maybe he wasn't. Um, I just wish we would have been able to see more of him in a Louisville Cardinal uniform because it was absolutely special when he was in that Cardinal uniform. But Louisville's my first winner. I really have them going far in the ACC tournament and the NCAA tournament next year. My other one is Texas. They have picked up David Punch, Amari Evans, and Isaiah Johnson. Isaiah Johnson was your third leading freshman scorer in the Big 12 last year. He was an all freshman selection, an all Big 12 honorable mention. David Punch was the talk of TCU. He was their guy. He's a big physical big that gets down low and gets to the rim and scores. When you talked about TCU in the tournament, David Punch was brought up every single time. And then another lower pickup that's really a huge one for these Texas Longhorns is Amari Evans. He's transferring from Tennessee into Texas, and he's going to have a role that is going to finally fit him while not being at Tennessee like last year. So that's why Texas is my second winner in this one. And then here's another one. I'll go ahead and give you four in this situation. Or no, I'm only gonna give you three. I'm gonna give three winners again, just like I had three losers. But like I said, last night Duke in the portal was 40th ranked, and now they are ranked eighth for their one or second pickup in the portal. So that's why things change with my losers and winners. But my other winner is gonna be Tennessee. So we're gonna go ahead and say Duke is a winner and a loser. But with Tennessee, I was scared. I saw everybody leaving Knoxville, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what's happening in Knoxville? Why is everyone leaving?" Well, there's no reason to doubt Rick Barnes here in this one. He has picked up a great roster with two players that I'm going to highlight. Terrence Hill Jr. from VCU. He was absolutely spectacular. He had 34 points against UNC in that tournament. That's really probably what put him on the map, other than him playing good. And then Day Ames from Cal, who is now transferred to Tennessee. This is his fourth, fourth school in 4 years. He was at Kansas State, went to Virginia, then last year was at Cal. Is a shifty guard and can absolutely get to the rim whenever he wants. These two guards together are going to be a lethal backcourt duo. And then, like I said, Tennessee is Rick Barnes is able to coach. He is really good at analyzing players in the portal. We've seen it the past few years with the guys that he has picked up. So there's my transfer portal thoughts, winners and losers so far. That could change in the next week with things happening. But one guy that I do want to highlight of, and he's from UConn, and UConn's solo ball is going to have wrist surgery and miss all of 2026 and 2027. This is an absolute devastating blow to the Huskies. I honestly am like, how did this even happen? Like, how did this happen? He had 14.4 points per game last year. It was a huge jump from the year before, where last year he was just terrible. And the fact that he had this jump while playing with this wrist injury all year is absolutely insane. Um, you could see it hurt him. He didn't shoot well from the 3-point line, but hey, he still managed to score 14.4 points per game despite his struggle from the 3-point line. So that's just an absolute devastating blow for the Huskies. I thought they were picking up a great transfer portal class with Nicholas Kamina from Duke, who came in. They have Braylon Mullins coming back, Najee Hines from Seton Hall, both a top 40 recruit with Nicholas Kamina and Najee Hines. And then, I mean, but now it's up to Silas Demaray Jr. to 100% fill this role for solo ball in his absence. Um, I feel like this is an absolute blow to the Huskies. They were 100% going to be scary, but I don't think this is going to hurt them at the end of the day. It's just one guy. It's going to be a next man up mentality. And then guess what? UConn fans, you get solo ball back the next year. So that actually might help you even more. But the fact that Braylon Mullins is staying, it lessens the blow of losing solo ball in this situation. So in that situation, hey, it's what it is. You got to do what you got to do for the betterment of your health. But how did he play through this injury and now has to get surgery that misses a whole year? I don't know what it is. No one said exactly what's wrong with him, but that's a crazy injury in my opinion. Goodness, that's actually terrible that he has to miss the whole year because this UConn team was gonna have a case to be back in the national championship. Um, and then the big news of today, Florida is getting back Thomas Hall. He's announced that he is going to return for his senior year. At this case, all I'm going to say about this, Florida's my preseason number one, and you're not going to change it anymore. This team is going to be going to be very special. They were already going to be special, but now the fact that he's coming back, boom, right there, you're good. There's no way that anyone can say that they're not the preseason number one. My preseason number one before this was Michigan, but the fact that Florida now has that, go ahead and give me them as my preseason number one. There's not much I can say right now because this news is new. But in that case, they're returning 6 of their top 7 scorers. I think that gives you the exact reason as to why they will be your preseason number one. There's nothing that you can say against that to be like, no, this is not your number one. I mean, Michigan lost Lindenborg and probably will lose Mara and probably will lose Merez Johnson Jr. to the draft. Now that Thomas Hall is not going to be there, their stock's going to go up because of that case. Florida's going to be your number one. Michigan is going to fall down to number two. And then Illinois is your three still. And then I don't know if this is still going to be the case with UConn being number four with the loss of solo ball. But hey, Florida is obviously the preseason number one, returning 6 of their top 7 scores. So in that case, there's nothing you can do about that one. Florida is going to be the number one next year to start the year. But I also like the fact that they lost in the second round, so they're going to be even hungrier. So we're actually going to see this Florida team be even better than what they were last year. And honestly, they were probably weaker than the year before, but they still had the chance of this could have been a Final Four team, but Iowa knocked them off on their Cinderella run. So that's what we like about March. We saw Florida lose, but they're going to come back even hungrier. And now the fact with NIL, they get that option to have more money in college than in the NBA draft when they might not even play that much in the NBA. So that's a great choice by Hod to do that. I love that. So Florida is going to be my preseason number one, and that's what I'm going to say about that one. We'll have more development coming on after later in the weeks leading up to the season next year. Um, but now let's turn our focus to the WNBA. We have what I'm going to say is my team that I'm the most excited to see play next year. And it's because they're going to be a young squad, but I still feel that this is probably going to be one of the better squads. That team that I'm very excited to watch is the Washington Mystics. They have Georgia Amore, Lauren Betts, Sonia Citron, Angela Dugalich, and Lucy Olson and Kiki Irfin. Those are just multiple people that are young players that I'm excited to see come up for through college and absolutely. Oh, they also have I'm pretty sure Shakira Austin was at Texas, if I'm not mistaken, before. I might be wrong. No, Ole Miss last year, right? No, 4 years ago. That's not the one I was thinking then. One of them, still a young squad to begin with, no matter what, still drafted 4 years ago, only her fourth year in the league, or will be her fourth year in the league. This is going to be a team that you 100% have to watch. Oh, this is it. Roy Harmon. She's the one that was from the little guard from Texas. She's very special, a huge pickup for them in the draft. I honestly know that all of them are not going to make the roster because the league is too small right now, and there's so much talent around it. But this young squad is something that I definitely want to continue and follow and see them continue to grow as years go on. This is a team that I feel like is going to be Indiana in year two with this better team. Georgia Amore is finally playing after an ACL injury that she had last year in preseason. We're going to get to see her. She's a very shifty guard, moves like no other. You got Lauren Betts, who is about as dominant as it can be. Sonia Citron was probably the breakout rookie of the year, an all-star, absolutely special to watch last year. Angela Dugalich is going to do her role just like she did at UCLA. And then Kiki Irfin is a great, stellar, phenomenal young player that is going to only grow in year two from what she did last year. This is just a team down the list as you go. The sky's the limit for them, and there's no reason that I'm not going to be more excited to watch them over anybody else in the league. I don't even know if it's even arguable that this is going to be the funnest team to watch grow throughout the year. It might not be pretty in the beginning as they try to figure everything out, all being in the WNBA for pretty much their first time together. But after it keeps going, actually, there's also I don't know her name, but um one of the players on the Mystics is Lauren Betts and Angela Dugalich's college teammate. So that's also pretty cool in that situation. That would be pretty fun to get to play with your coach in the pros. But like I said, this is going to be a very, 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 very fun team to watch and see grow throughout the year. And honestly, it might not be this year that they're a team to reckon with, but in 2 to 3 years, this is going to be a team that I don't want to see in the playoffs. The Aces are going to have to step aside. Everybody else, just go ahead. The Liberty are going to have to step aside. All these teams that have won in the past, them and Indiana, I think, are the two that are going to be forces to reckon with as we grow, as the years go on, as we see this league continue to grow and these players continue to grow and get better as they play together. It's going to be so fun to watch Amore in the WNBA. Citron, we saw what she can do last year. She's going to have another sophomore year that's going to make a jump. Kiki Irifin's going to make another jump. Um, Lauren Betts is going to be a dominant big. I honestly thought she should have been the number one overall pick. So that's why this is the team that I really want to see. Like I want to see what they do next year. I think this squad is going to be special, and that's exactly why they are my team to watch in the WNBA next year. Um, but that's going to do it for this episode of the Heavily Contested Hoops podcast. My name's Peyton Mitchell. Continue for my little analysis on basketball as a whole of the time when I decide to pick up the camera and start recording. Hopefully, sometime we can get some guests on here, start talking, where it's not just me go ahead and rambling about what I think, but continue to watch. Go ahead if you made it to here. Follow on TikTok at HCH_pod. There's an Instagram account. If you find it, it's just Heavily Contested Hoops. And then continue to interact with the shorts here on YouTube. And it's the same thing for TikTok and YouTube here with the shorts. But go ahead and give a follow on both if you can. And have a great rest of your week.